Weather Service office, for which they provide you guys up-to-date information about rainfall amounts that have been actually happening throughout this time and the time before that. I mean, they're the ones who actually collect the actual data in real time. I mean, this is just an estimate, folks. All right? Yeah, it's best to consult with your local officials, local National Weather Service office, for more up-to-date, accurate info on rainfall accumulation, wind gusts, wind speed, wind direction. Right? Now, let's take a look at what's happening right now. So, assuming this is right now, this is 18Z. Sorry about that, folks. I had something. Okay, so we do have a trough that's located over Lake Superior. Hold on a minute. All right, I'm back, folks. Yeah, I had to get myself a sip and as well as deal with outside noise. Alright, so like I said, we do have a trough that's located over Lake Superior. There's a ridge over the northern Rockies, and I think there's one flat one over the desert southwest. There's a big area of high pressure aloft just off the east coast, which translation, it means... Sorry about that. A ridge. Now, this means that we do have wet weather that's actually going to happen throughout the East Coast and parts of the Ohio Valley as well. And there's also activity in parts of the Pacific Northwest right now, all the way to California. But right now, Southern California is mostly dry at this moment. Alright, now let's move on to 24 hours from now, which happens to be tomorrow at 18Z, which means that 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which means it's 2 p.m. here. Although right now it is not 2 o'clock p.m. right now, but assuming that this is 24 hours from now. It is 1:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Welcome to the stream. For those of you just tuning in, my name is Marlon. This is the National Weather discussion and the tropical update for Saturday, September 6, 2025. Hope you guys having a good day, or hoping that you guys will have better days ahead, or hoping that the rest of the day will be much brighter than the first half, if you know what I mean, folks. For tomorrow in the afternoon, we do have a ridge that's going to sit over the Four Corners part of the United States, which happens to be Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. And there's going to be a trough that's going to remain throughout the Great Lakes region. A ridge just sitting offshore from the East Coast, and another area, just an upper level low, just located off of the Pacific Northwest. Now, what does this mean, folks? This could mean that there's going to be some wet weather that's going to happen throughout the Pacific Northwest, the parts of the Great Basin to Central California. And there's still going to be wet weather to go around throughout the East Coast, all the way down to Florida. Yeah, and there's more throughout to the eastern part of the Great Lakes region and parts of the Ohio Valley. And now we move on to Monday afternoon, where there's going to be a trough that's going to be over the southeast, a ridge located over the desert southwest, a trough over and off of the Pacific Northwest, and the trough just located north of New England, just near Hudson Bay. What does this mean? There's still going to be some wet weather throughout parts of the Northeast, particularly in New England, and parts of Pennsylvania, and all the way to the upstream parts of the Ohio River Valley. Some parts of the Southeast will get plenty of some storms, especially in Florida. It's going to be more wet weather throughout the West Coast, up all the way to the Northern Rockies, the Great Basin, and parts of the desert Southwest too. And finally, by Tuesday afternoon, there will be a trough located over the Gulf, a small ridge over New Mexico, a thin trough located over Northern California, and there's going to be another trough located near Hudson Bay, but another one could be over the upper Mississippi Valley, which means that there's going to be plenty of wet weather to go around throughout the West Coast, particularly in California, all the way up to the Northern Rockies, the Great Basin, and parts of the desert Southwest. And there's going to be more wet weather. There's going to be wet weather from the upper Mississippi Valley all the way to the Great Lakes region and parts of northern New England. There's also going to be more wet weather throughout the southeast all the way to Florida. Alright, now this is the GFS model, so let's just move on to the tropics right around now. Now we're going to start off with tonight, because that part we want to get a head start on what we're dealing with, folks. This is much easier anyway. Okay, so we do have an upper level high that's sitting offshore from the east coast of North America. And, well, using the GFS model at 500 millibars will give us an idea of what we're dealing with, folks. Alright, let me get a sip of water real quick. Okay. Now, let's see, where is the tropical interest? It looks like we do have something that's located in the center of the tropics. Where am I pointing to? I'm pointing it to right here, folks. I don't know if you guys can see it. But for the safe bet, I'm just going to see my own stream up from my phone just to see what we're dealing with, folks. Okay, so you guys can see after all. Okay, that's good. That's good. Alright, now, let's see, could be some few tropical waves located north of the Caribbean. One that may have potential, but honestly, I don't think so. Now we move on to 24 hours by Sunday night. There could be something forming, but it's still disorganized, yet you have very strong upper level winds. And you have a bit of a barometric swamp, but you do have plenty of Sahara desert air. It's plaguing throughout the tropical Atlantic, which does decrease any chance of development within the next few days. But from what I can see, folks, is that we do have an area of convergence aloft that we have here at 500 millibars. But right now, I just don't see that as worthy of being of having a tropical system to develop. We move on to Monday night. There could be something forming there, just northeast of the Windward Islands, and what do you know? Looks like there is something, but then again, I'm second guessing right now. I mean, there are some strong upper level winds. Something could form, but still too early to tell, folks. We move on to Tuesday night. Yep, something could form. It could, folks. And this one, not seeing it, folks. Not seeing it. There's a weak trough right here, but even that is powerful enough for this system to get eaten up. And we move on to Wednesday night. There's something that's going to come out of Africa. Maybe something could form. And as for this one, it's kind of relatively weak. You have dry air coming in. Something could form, but you have upper level winds nearby. Then we move on to Thursday night. Something could form, but it's still going to be no more than a tropical storm, folks. And especially this one. Hold on a minute, folks. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, maybe something could form by Thursday night right around here. But here, it's not looking good. By Friday night, still this potential storm could form. Right here, it's not really much that I'm impressed by from a meteorologist point of view. And then finally, we move on to Saturday night. Maybe something could form right here, but not really. Well, folks, there could be something forming over the Gulf of Mexico, you know, on the eastern side, like right around Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and Panhandle, Florida. But right here in the tropical Atlantic, not much is happening. It's just a lot of dry air, a lot of strong upper level winds. Well, let's go back to 24 hours. 48 hours. Okay, so this is Thursday night. Something could form right here. Yep. Something could form right off Florida's west coast. And then it just expands, folks. But right now, it looks like a cutoff low to me, but right now it's still too early to tell, but I could advance just about a couple more days ahead, and it looks like as though the storm is going to get stronger. Not that much in the tropical Atlantic. Yeah, it's nothing but a cutoff low from what it looks like. It'll be just one big rainmaker. Folks, I wouldn't call it a tropical system. I would just call it a big rainmaker. But this right here, I'm not really going to consider this as a tropical system. It's not well organized. Maybe here there could be something. That's for early next week. Next Tuesday night. Not much. Not much I'm impressed by. Well, folks, things do